discuss with Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. You heard Stacey Abrams in Georgia call this, in her words, Jim Crow in a suit and tie. Do you agree with her? Is that essentially what's going on?
Well, I'm not going to say, it's Jim Crow or targeted. I will say this, though. We need to make it easier for people to vote. And as Republicans, if we're concerned about, more people voting being bad, that actually should be a real call to arms to us, that we have to actually go back to the roots of our message and describe to people what it is we stand for, which I think we've lost, and why they should believe what we believe. That's the bottom line of politics. I think the other thing, too, what this is showing is a basic acceptance of the whole fact that the election was stolen, which it wasn't. I mean, in any democracy, anywhere in the world, in any election, there's always going to be a little bit of voter fraud or voter irregularity in any time. But if you look at, what was declared basically by the president and claimed to be a stolen election, each one of those were thrown out in terms of in a court and in terms of by proof to not be true. And what this is doing, in essence, is saying, yes, in fact, this election was stolen, and we're going to move forward and make it harder for people to vote. I just think, personally, we need to make it easier for people to vote, and we need to go out and compete with our ideas.
Yeah, we really do. As many people as possible should be voting, and it should be, as you say, easy as possible. One of the things they're trying to do, the Republicans, at least some Republicans in Georgia, is prevent voting on a Sunday. Now, Sunday is an important day, especially for minorities. A lot of people have to work during the week, and on Sundays after church, a lot of folks want to go out and vote, and they want to prevent that from happening. That's unacceptable, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that don't make sense to me. When people talk about shortening maybe the early voting period, so the time frame in terms of, whether it's September or starts in October, there can be some merit to some of that, because what you want is people voting when they've gotten all the facts. You don't want campaigns starting earlier, and progressively earlier and earlier. So there's some merit in that. But when it's about, let's just keep it short, close on days that people need to go vote on, no, that is not the right answer. And I think this is where it's important, once we get past kind of the moment we're in right now, for really everybody to have a discussion. What should our voter system look like? And how do we ensure that it's safe and secure, and that everybody that can vote should vote, or that everybody that can vote goes out and votes?
Yeah, we want as many people as possible to vote, make it easier for people to vote, not harder. I want to get your reaction to what Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin is saying. He's drawing a lot of condemnation for these comments. Let me play this clip.
I knew those are people that love this country, that truly respect law enforcement, would never do anything to break a law. And so I wasn't concerned. Now, had the tables been turned, and Joe, this could be in trouble. Had the tables been turned and President Trump won the election, and those were tens of thousands of Black Lives Matter and Antifa protesters, I might have been a little concerned.
Let me get your reaction. Senator Johnson says there is nothing racial about those comments. What's your reaction?
I mean, to me, it seems like it certainly has a racial connotation, but most importantly, I think, is it shows it's just tribalism. Everybody's going into their tribes, and what the senator seems to be saying is, if it's my tribe that was attacking the Capitol, I felt fine with it. By the way, Officer Fanone, who has been on CNN before, said that, he's a police officer. He was drugged down the street and down the steps and beaten with Blue Lives Matter flags. There is no, and BLM and Antifa have condemned the riots of the summer, but they have not charged and attacked the Capitol and put the number 2, 3, and 4 in the line of succession to the presidency within arm's reach of real violence, which is what many of these people were saying they were going to do. I don't understand the equivalency of it. You can both, condemn the violence over the summer, but then also condemn what happened on January 6th and recognize there really is no comparison, because January 6th was a threat to the institution of democracy. Now, thankfully, we overcame that. And I don't know why people like Senator Johnson are insistent on going back and saying it really wasn't that big of a deal. It's a rewrite of history that, frankly, is not going to smile well on him in the history of time.
And he says that those insurrectionists, they love this country. Well, they certainly didn't show it on January 6th when they tried to destroy the U.S. Capitol. Representative Kinzinger, thanks so much for joining us.
You bet, Wolf.